What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm Nick Scarpino, and I'm joined by two wonderful human beings. To my immediate right is Andy Cortez, and then all the way around the table is the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
How are you guys feeling right now?
Real good.
You both just came back from London.
Jolly old London.
I'm on an adrenaline high right now, guys.
I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I am like blown away by the fact that you guys aren't groggy. You guys are both seem well adjusted. Like when I came back from my last trip, I was out for like 3 days.
Dude, London, I don't know what it was, but I feel like the jet lag worked in my favor both
We
ways.
just talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
I feel on the way over there, I think it did. On the way back, I was screwed up, but only because I spent my final night watching the Cowboys game at 1:30 in the morning. Because they had the primetime game here in America. So I was from 1:30 in the morning until 4 in the morning.
What channel shows the Cowboys? It's like BBC 18? What channel was showing it?
No. It's like the NFL ticket thing.
Were you on your laptop?
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Of course, for everyone out there watching, if you didn't know, this is the GameOverGreggy show, normally hosted by Greg Miller, but he is out right now on a much-deserved vacation, so I will be taking over him. This show is the place you come. I lost the whole thing.
Table.
Yeah, I was going to go into it, but I screwed up because I wanted to tell people why Greg's not here. This is where 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a topic for your amusement. Of course, if you guys want to support the show, please go over to patreon.com/kindafunny, and you can support us at the $1 or above level. It's just $1. And what does that get you, Tim?
You get to watch live.
You get to watch live.
For
you
a
get
couple more bucks. You get the
Yeah.
show early in audio or video form. You also get the pre-show and post-show. The pre-show, we talked about the released image of Batman's penis.
Yeah, we've seen finally what Bruce
Are we
Wayne's dick
impressed?
is.
You're going to have to buy it to find
you'll
out.
never know. You'll never
see
know.
that pre-show. Also, shout out to Patreon producer Warren Moore
More and more.
for being the homie.
There you go. Of course, today we are going. Oh, okay. We clapping?
Warren!
More and more. Today, guys, I want to get into it. We got one topic only. As you know, I got FOMO.
Yeah.
Okay. I decided to not go to London this year because I had some stuff I had to work on. I was tired. I was this and that. Y'all went, and it looks like you had the best time without me, and I don't like that.
It was a good time.
So
A lot
I'd
of
like you
people
guys.
asking
It was a
about
great
you.
time.
So walk me through it. What happened here?
So it was both of our first time
How are
in
the
London.
snacks on the plane?
You've been in London
Yeah.
before.
I love
the
London.
snacks on the plane
my
were
first time leaving the
interesting.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been to Mexico, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, I mean, it's right
like-
there.
yeah.
Just drive across the
Mexico.
border.
Let's for the sake of argument, let's just say Canada and Mexico don't count as international trips when you live in the United States. That's like going to your cousin's house.
Right.
That's just what it is.
But even more so for me when it's like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, like literally when you accidentally you fall down and you're in Mexico.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
That doesn't count. So y'all get
never
over
been
there
to
on the plane. Did y'all what did you do on the plane? Did you guys walk me through the whole thing? What are the highlights? What's some fun stuff?
So we got there to the airport, got
Yeah.
on the plane.
Yeah.
I was really lucky. I got exit row, which was the most
you
legroom
son of
I've
a
ever
bitch.
had. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Was it almost too much?
Yeah, it was.
But they don't let you have
egregious,
your bag
man.
there. That's the only reason I don't like exit row.
Yeah,
I gotta have my
that
bag
kinda
to like
sucks.
constantly reach into stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to put it up for a bit and then take it down. It's this whole thing. But anyway, so we do the flight. The flight sucked. I hate being on planes.
love
being
it.
on planes for like 10 hours is
love
the
it.
absolute worst. So that all sucked. But yeah, they gave us an excessive amount of food.
Snacks.
So many snacks, so many meals. Like it was like 2.5 full meals. I'm like, I don't know that we need all this.
Yeah.
A lot of chicken tikka masala. I'm like, all right.
That's a bold choice.
fucking in.
What were you flying?
So
United?
It was
British.
British. Wait, no.
British
American
Airways?
Airlines via British Airways.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't understand what that means, but it was a British plane, British people talking to me, British food that they
Yeah.
were serving,
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty good, man.
It's not
it was a fun little time.
So what were your top level thoughts of London in general? Did you guys enjoy London? Was it cool, or were you just like whatever?
Top level thoughts for me, I think that people are extremely nice. I'm not just saying this, it's not lip service. The community that we met out there was one of the best meet and greets we've ever had. Seeing everyone was super fucking cool, and like everyone was just so friendly and nice, and like had such fun stories. What the fuck is going on
There's
outside?
so we walked out for lunch, and there was a dog walker, and she had like 15 dogs.
That's what it
so
sounds
my
like.
assumption is she had a heart attack, and now the dogs are eating her.
I don't know why
Now they're fighting
my
over
mind
her femur.
immediately went to like 15 dogs on leashes, but the dogs are like balloons, and she's like slowly starting to float up. You know what I mean?
I don't know why your mind went there
It's
either.
my
man.
mind-
That's
No,
fucking
Andy.
weird.
I just picture her like slowly, like, oh my god, I'm losing them, and they're like,
It might be time to get
Yeah.
some more sleep, Andy.
yeah, maybe. No,
think that
I've gotten
might
a
be.
lot of sleep though. I've gotten a lot of sleep.
Right.
My flight, however, I was really worried going into it. I was on an aisle seat, And
I love aisle
I
seats.
had a couple sitting next to me, older husband and
You
wife.
could tell they just needed to pee constantly.
That was gonna be, dude. My biggest worry was like, I'm fucked. These people are gonna be getting up to the restroom all the time. The woman and the dude knock out within 30 minutes of the flight starting, and I don't know, fucking 8 hours go by, and I kind of doze off somewhere along the way, and then I wake up and I'm just like, I bust out my Switch to play some NBA, and then the guy is like, oh, can we go to the restroom? I was like, of course you can. This is the only time you've had to go the whole
weird.
trip.
It's weird.
It was so good. I was so happy about it because I was really worried that my biggest fear was like I was gonna be asleep and they were gonna wake me up, and like maybe I was gonna look stupid while I was asleep. Maybe I was gonna be drooling. You know?
Oh, you probably do. You probably look adorable when you sleep, you son of a bitch.
No, I had a blanket over my head.
No, that's weird and spooky.
Well, it's because there was a fucking
so
draft
weird, dude.
hitting me like right on my left cheek.
You know
it
you
was
can just-
so
You
cold.
can turn the vent off.
No, the vents were way the fuck over here. I don't know where this air was from.
There's a remote.
To what?
The remote lets you change the vents.
I'm on United. It's a different fucking thing.
You're right. You're right. We were
Yeah.
on different planes.
Wait, you guys are on different planes?
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
on different
Oh,
planes.
right, because you booked your flight. They booked you last night. That's right.
So I don't know where the air was coming at because I was nowhere near anything. It was just something must have been happening.
Right.
But I put my face mask on, my eye mask, right? Blacked
So
out.
precious.
And then I have the black blanket over my head.
Black on black.
And I'm just out, dude. I knocked out. Ooh, also, I downloaded a 10-hour white noise fan.
Oh, where'd you
fan
off of
sound.
YouTube?
Just off of YouTube.
Yeah, see, I tried to download that, but I don't have YouTube Red, so I assume you can't. Well, actually, I couldn't.
can't
I
do
ju-
offline viewing,
That's
yeah.
right. I couldn't figure out like. I tried to download it via like
YouTube Premium now.
like just get it and then rip the audio out, but it just wouldn't work for some reason. I could it kept fucking up my computer because I love that fan
Yeah.
sound when I sleep. But so I end up I end up just letting my eye like the other time I was at a hotel in Austin, I think it was, and I was like, I just can't sleep because I don't sleep very well the first couple nights in hotels. And so I turned my phone on and put the earbuds in, but then I had to flip my phone over, and then I was like, I can't charge my phone and listen to this at the same time because I don't have the
Yeah.
stupid dual thing. Oh god, it was the worst. No, I had to fly out to Austin for that documentary screening, which was really fun. And the two people sitting next to me, for whatever reason, they put me in the window seat, which I was like, big mistake, because I pee 5-6 times on a 4-hour flight. I'm peeing once every 45 minutes. And then when I come back on the third or fourth time I've disrupted these people, their flight,
They hate
they
you.
get pissed because I come back with a Diet Coke. And I'm like the kid.
Stop adding to it.
I'm like the kid from Home Alone where I'm just like, and I look at you and I'm like, I'm gonna pee on you. But these people, this mother and her daughter did the most annoying thing ever. The first time I was like, can I get out? And they're like, sure. And like a movie theater, they just sort of like
Did the little-
did the thing with they scooted the legs over to diagonal. I was like, this is not a fucking movie.
Nope.
Get the fuck up. Get
Yeah,
up.
the
What are you
fuck
doing?
up.
There's no room for this. Yeah.
Like you can't. I'm not. And they're like, oh, you can climb over. I'm like, I'm not climbing
I don't
over
know.
you.
I don't want to touch you.
Because
It's
one,
not
I got to get
appropriate.
way too close to you. It's not going to happen.
pick up the armrest. It'll be good.
No, get up. First off, it's impossible to climb over two people. It just can't be done. One person,
It can't be done.
maybe. If there's if
I've
there's a
never seen it
space,
happen. Honestly.
like every once in a while, my wife's like, I'm like bundled in. I'm not. Just climb over me, and then I make it sexy. Like I do a little.
What's that look like, Nick?
Little lap dance. Like when they do that.
Do you
Like when
make
they
the
do-
noises too?
Yeah, I hit annoys the hell out of her. Well, it's like, let me ask you a question. What happens when I pass you in the movie theater?
True. You
Yeah.
do that and you
Yeah.
do make the noises.
Yeah.
It's very inappropriate.
I don't.
For
I like
everyone
it.
involved.
It's super fun.
Especially me.
It's super fun. Well, you guys were gone, by the way. Caught up with Sean Finnegan.
Mm-hmm.
We went and saw The Predator together.
Hey, he
That was
still
a fun
has
night.
One of our cards, just a heads up.
Okay, well, I'll get that back from him, Kevin, when I remember that in 3 hours.
So, The Predator.
Yeah.
Are we done?
what's-
Are we done talking about London?
No.
Oh, we can come back to it. It's a free flow. I don't want to interrupt. I mean, you guys
Yeah,
talk about what
sure.
you want to talk about. It's
Yeah,
fine.
sure.
London was very interesting to me.
Yeah.
It was probably the most culture shocky place I've ever been.
Really?
Because the only other out of America place I've been before is Australia.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun in Belize or in Bali.
Yeah. I feel like Australia was very similar to here.
Yeah.
Little changes here and there, like drove on the wrong side and all that stuff. But London was very different. It was very hard to understand people. And
you?
and they couldn't understand me. Like
That's
there was
weird.
multiple times like when we'd be in taxis, it was like, what are you saying?
No,
No.
but also the problem with the taxi is that he thinks that he's audible.
Yeah.
And he's very far away from us because there's like glass thing separating us.
Oh, you
and
did the
there's-
big cabs, the big like
Oh, yeah,
black cabs
every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the hardest chairs known to man.
Yeah, they're built to last. those things.
And you can stand up in them. It's pretty cool.
How many times did you guys almost get hit by cars crossing the street?
Dude, constantly. So that was like probably the first thing we learned.
It's terrifying, right?
Is we get there and then we were like, oh, let's go walk to this restaurant. It was me, Andy, Greg, and Jen. And we walk out, and as we're like just on the streets, we're realizing like, all right, so they're driving on the opposite side than we're used to. They're not only on the cars, but in their lanes. And just with how it works, it's like, oh, it's not a yellow line in the middle, it's a white line in the middle. So when you're in the cars, everything looks really confusing.
Close to each other.
Because you're just
also.
like, oh my God, everything's super close. It's like there's not room for two cars in any of the streets.
No.
And they're just fucking going crazy. And there's also never a time that you feel like you're allowed to cross the street. Even when you're at a crosswalk, people don't stop. It's just kind of like, you
It's
just kind
freaky.
of wait and you just fucking run for it and hope for the best.
Yeah, I don't like that. As a person who cannot break rules, I don't like that. Also, I felt, and I'm saying this with all sincerity, I legitimately felt like there was a double-decker bus that was hunting me down the entire time I was there. Because every time I stepped off the street, someone would pull me back and the double-decker bus would just whiz by me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get you the next time. Like, it looked at me and was like, I'm going to get you the next time.
Tim reacted very, very animatedly to several things in his peripheral. Yeah.
Things kept flying at me. The pigeons there don't give a fuck, dude.
No, man.
They're just goddamn chilling. I saw somebody like hold a pigeon.
Oh, several.
In this park. And I'm like,
There was
what
a
are you
kid
doing?
with
You're
like 4
nasty.
pigeons on top of his body.
Yeah, check your email.
Pigeons are they're the national bird
They are the national
London,
bird.
from what I understand. Yeah, they're they're like the. I don't know. I got nothing. On that. I was gonna say Montreal. I was gonna say. God damn it! This is like hour 4 of podcasting today. Well, I had one more question for you. Oh, so the language barrier thing, was that just because the accents were too hard, like they couldn't figure out
So
your
many
accent?
accents, and it just it was very.
Now this is
very
a question
difficult.
I'm legitimately going to ask, and I don't mean this to sound I don't mean this in a joke way. Is it because most people, like what I found when I went there was that most people, like there was a lot of immigrants coming into the country, and a lot of people working in like Starbucks or Nero's and things like that were people that had different accents. Was that the issue, or was it just that the Londoner accent was not vibing with you?
Both, I'd say, because I feel like the first person
Because like a lot of Italians there too. For some reason, I was like, I don't like you people.
There was a French guy working at the front desk of the hotel, and that was really hard to understand. And then our waitress at the hotel bar was also very French, and her and Jen connected, right? And they understood each other, but it was very hard to understand. But also just the general, I guess, English accent. You're used to movie English. You're not used to like real English accents,
Right.
And it was definitely like difficult to understand.
There's a speedness to as well that's difficult.
100%. Yeah.
So when the accents, and I think that just goes across the board, right? When people talk too quickly with any accent, it's just difficult for me to understand.
Yeah, when we were doing the meet and greet, we did a couple meet and greets over the weekend, but the main kind of funny one that we did, it was so funny how like they all ganged up on us. Like they would literally just be like, get in a circle and just make fun of us for how stupid we sounded. And they're just like, oh my God, now you guys are the ones that sound dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
except you should have rightfully pointed out, and I would have absolutely pointed this out and been happy to, is that they're absolutely 100% wrong. Because go America.
Go America.
That's why.
I did
Enough
that.
said.
That's why. Go America.
Thanks, Kev.
That's why.
Yeah, overall though, it was a cool place. I don't ever have any need to go back again, with the exception of hanging out with the community. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
if we go back
they
again.
were amazing.
So you don't see yourself vacationing in London
Definitely
anytime
not.
soon.
No,
See,
no.
I don't know what it was. For me, it was just such a magical trip the first time. And largely because I got to see the Harry Potter play. But now the whole city of London is a magical Harry Potter to me. And even to the point where I feel like if I go back, I'm going to just whisper Harry Potter.
I was a
time.
bit surprised at how forward they were with the Harry Potter stuff. Like it was super on the nose of like they're big Harry Potter fans. Like,
Yeah,
it's kind of everywhere.
I was expecting them to be kind of like, if you bring up Harry Potter, them to get offended or something.
Yeah.
Similar to like when people go to Texas, like, oh, do you have like cowboys and horses and stuff? Like, all right, guys, that's a fucking stereotype. Like, chill the fuck out. But this, no,
I mean,
they're
you
like,
do have a lot of cowboys and horses in Texas.
I mean,
not
not where I
necessarily
fucking grew
stereotypes,
up.
just-
Not where I fucking grew up.
A lot of cowboys in Texas.
I've never seen a horse.
when I was in Austin, I'll never forget the first time I was in Austin. I think I was like chilling there, and I was like, wow, man, this is a very like really like metropolitan area. And like I swear to God, I saw like 5 cowboys walk by me. They were doing some sort of like cotillion. We were there in that one restaurant, remember? we were at that steakhouse and like 5 dudes walked in with Stetson hats and I was like, you gotta be fucking, this gotta be a cosplay thing, right? And no, they were like legit there, like at like a debutante ball or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
we're in Texas.
I thought London was beautiful. I would love to go back.
Yeah.
Because the architecture was just like so magical to me because I'm not used to any of that shit. Like I think, and when you talk about old cities and like ancient or not ancient, but like, you know, just
Oh, it's pretty old. England's pretty old.
Yeah.
There's stuff
But
there
so is
that's
where
a
I'm
lot-
from,
that's
and
very
my
old.
cities look like shit. You know,
Sure.
like everything just looks like garbage. But being in a place like this felt like, man, like this is what you see in the movies. I'm just not used to anything like that.
Yeah,
you know?
big issue we had though is that we did all the touristy stuff and everything's under construction. Like apparently Big Ben's under construction for 5 years.
No, it's big.
It is big.
You know,
It was only
Yeah.
Big Ben though. That was on. What else was on?
No,
Well,
the
Buckingham
things
Palace
next
wasn't,
to
right?
it. No, the palace is fine.
Palace
And,
was
like,
it?
all the shit
Westminster
near-
and all that stuff was gorgeous.
You guys saw the Abbey? That's right
we
next to
walked
Big
by.
Ben, right?
Yeah, we walked by all that stuff, and yeah, I mean that's just cool. You know, it's like
But there are even like beautiful buildings that don't have names to them. And I'm just like, that shit looks cool.
Oh, no,
What was
man.
crazy is on the flight back, I watched 3.5 movies. I watched Avengers: Infinity War again.
Excellent.
Damn, it just keeps getting better
Every time you see
I
it.
watched Lady Bird, which was
Oh,
fantastic.
good
and I
movie,
liked
right?
Way more than I
Yeah,
thought I would.
yeah.
I watched Love, Simon, which damn,
I cried.
that movie's as fucking good as everyone
Yeah.
says it is.
Yeah.
And I watched half of Black Panther. And in the opening season of Black Panther, there's after Oakland, they go to London. There's like this big drone shot,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, it's the fucking London Eye, and it's all. I'm like, we were just
Oh,
there,
yeah.
so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I mean, obviously, London, one of the most historic cities. Like, it's cool to walk through those older cities because you see literally like, not decades, but like centuries of different architecture
Yeah.
thrown into that, and it's you get a sense for like when you're really. I mean, you're really in a historic city, and we don't have anything like that here. We like even New York, which is like our oldest, biggest city.
They weren't
it's
really.
not.
The city wasn't built with plans of like a bunch of vehicles driving.
Yeah,
through it,
you're
you know?
not like. Yeah, I mean, like New York is old, but like it's been retrofitted to the point now where it feels like a very modern city. Whereas like there's parts of London that you walk down, you're like, is this a cobblestone street? Like, what's going on here?
That's all they have, dude.
It's great, and
then-
I love that. I love that vibe.
And then
It's that old mixed with modern.
Jen started arguing with Tim and I about whether the London Tube is more iconic than the New York subway.
No, absolutely not.
Which that's what we said. Yeah, I mean,
then-
so did the voters. The voters
Yeah,
said,
Jen put a poll up thinking
Yeah.
that she was going to dominate.
Yeah.
And she also put it out during London time. So it was like she
Yeah.
had everything in her favor. She got destroyed.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Here's why: because the London Tube works and is clean,
See, but
and
that's-
it just is fine. The New York subway is where the Ninja Turtles hang out,
Yeah.
and that is where crime happens. Do you understand me? Like the New York subway is like that is. Like the biggest trope for fucking crime and thriller movies. Like, how many times have you seen someone run into the New York subway and then they run down a little thing and it's like, don't go down there. Someone's gonna get hit by a fucking train,
Yeah.
right? Which happened. Spoilers and like Jack Ryan that happened. That
My thing with the,
'Cause I was in
tube
Baltimore, I
was
think.
we landed at the airport and it's like all I wanted to do was get to the hotel
Yeah.
and like be able to just fucking chill. It's been a long journey. And there was this question of, are we going to take a taxi or Uber or are we going to take the tube? And there's this obsession with the goddamn tube
people love the tube.
that I just do not understand.
It's very convenient.
Okay, I get that.
Very convenient.
But you know what's more convenient? Sitting somewhere and just getting taken directly where you need to go.
So here's the deal. Yes, but my on my trip to where were we going? I think we were going to Morocco when I was in London. We flew into Heathrow, which is London's big airport, but we were flying out of a different one. We got in a cab and the guy was like, "What time's your flight?" And we were like, "Oh, we got like 3 hours." And he's like, "You guys might want to take the train."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Nah, we're fine." And I swear to God, barely made our flight.
Totally.
If the traffic is too crazy, you could be sitting in that cab for hours.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is the city
when
is
you
not,
have
the city's
time.
not built for going around via car. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like the streets are all weird and the tube does get you where you need to go. But when you Google map it and it literally is telling you it's the same amount of time for train or for
Oh, yeah,
taxi,
man, absolutely
and
cap.
you have a group of 6 people,
Absolutely, Cap.
get in the fucking car.
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
or else the tube costs money when you multiply it by 6.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's just sheer math.
But it is sheer math. It was just funny to me though, because like there was multiple people that were just like, "Oh, we got to do the tube as part of the experience." I'm like, "We're gonna take it at some point."
Yeah, we're gonna hit that
Like,
too.
Yeah.
it's a fucking train.
You gotta look at some point. You can't go to London and not mind the gap. You gotta mind the gap.
gotta do it.
You gotta do
And we
it.
minded it multiple times.
on the way to the final day where we went to the ramen place, about 20 minutes into just being on trains and being sweaty and walking to the next train
3 times.
and just looking, I looked at him. I was like, I should have fucking taken an Uber. Like, I feel so
especially-
gross right now.
Fuck taxis to goddamn hell.
Oh my god.
You'd think like, oh, London has some things better than America when it comes to the shit. Taxis are probably one of them. No, dude. Just as fucking
Taxis are
bad.
terrible.
Turns out
everywhere.
taxis are terrible in every city.
Oh my
yeah.
god, the classic scenario when at the last taxi we fucking took, we get in this thing, get back to the hotel. It was like a 40-minute drive, and the guy's machine's not working for the card, and I'm like,
Son of a bitch.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
You guys gotta go pull out cash? Nope.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna take you to an ATM. I'm like,
Nope.
no, you're not.
Not gonna do
Like,
that.
I'm at my hotel. What the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
And I stayed there for about 10 minutes trying to figure this out and help him.
It felt like
And he
longer than
started-
10 minutes.
It might have been. He started getting like super pissed at me. And I'm just like, your thing says accepts MasterCard. This is a MasterCard.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
it's like,
going
and
to a fucking-
The card that we had, it was from Rooster Teeth. It's like a cash card.
Yeah.
We couldn't, it's not a debit. We can't just take money
yeah,
out.
that's a problem.
So even if
Yeah.
we went to the ATM, it's like, what do you, like, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, this is my. I mean, and I feel for people who went through all the steps to become taxi drivers, but you're not long for this planet because Uber. While I have my gripes with Uber drivers, and while I feel that most of them conservatively have only been driving for 2 days, that's still a service that's so much easier to use than cabs, and I'd so much rather interact with those people than cab
we should
drivers
have just
most of the
doubled
time.
down on the Uber, man, the whole time. We fucked up.
We did.
God
yeah.
damn. Yeah, I know. I took the tube because I wanted. Obviously, I was on vacation. We didn't have any place specifically to be.
Yeah.
So the few days that I spent in London, it was like, oh, let's go here, and it was fun to figure out how to take the subway. It's pretty straightforward. Not like when you go to Japan, it'll be a little bit crazier because you have to take trains there, and then it's like, hey, it's like a spider web of train networks. But you'll figure it out too. You'll like that, I think, a lot as well. Did you guys see Platform 9 3/4?
No,
Okay,
we didn't head out.
that's
there.
unfortunate.
We saw pretty much all the other things.
All the big
though.
sites?
Like the one thing that we didn't like.
Did you go to
see
the
up
Beatles
close
Road?
Was Abbey Road? No, we didn't see that either.
Oh, okay.
It was a
We were
little
on
too
Abbey
far.
Street.
Yeah, we were on Abbey Street. But we didn't go to the London Bridge, but like it was close enough that we saw
No,
it.
you saw. You don't have to walk
Yeah.
across it. I didn't walk across the London Bridge. I walked across the other one. There's the Tower Bridge, I think is what it's called. We walked across that to get from South Kensington to Chelsea, I believe, and that was a cool walk. Other thing I love about London, no hills, absolutely no hills. It's as if the city planners were like, is there a hill? Decimate it.
Get rid
We
of
want flat ground.
Yeah.
This is a flat ground kind of place. Like, we're English people. We don't do hills. Let's leave those for those dipshit San Franciscans.
My 3 favorite things about London,
Yeah.
besides meeting everybody. One was the amount of beer options.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane.
It's
And
beer
I
culture.
found my new favorite beer there, the Punk IPA from Brew Dogs.
Brew dogs. Yeah.
That shit was fucking good.
Okay.
The pubs and stuff were super cool. Like going to those was always a fun experience because it felt like the movies.
That was like the coolest.
Well, and there's
sort
like a
of
pub
thing
on
that we
every
did.
corner that
On
you're like, how
every
long? And you
corner.
look, how long has this pub been here? Like, if that were here, it would be in Vegas, and they would have made it look like a pub, but it's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
There, you're like, this pub's been here since Napoleon time. Like, you're like, what the fuck? I know that was French,
And
but
it was cool. It was cool.
I'm not
Though.
gonna
Like, I feel like there was a fun vibe going to the different ones that we did. So that was cool. The fish and chips, they're as good as people
Shit.
say.
You know, I didn't have one. I was there.
So
They were
good,
good, man.
Here's the big
super
question
good.
though. How's that Nando's?
So that was my thing number 3. Yo, I had it totally wrong about Nando's. I thought Nando's was some like Taco Bell level just fast food.
Yeah.
It's a restaurant. It just happens.
It's a Chili's. It's like an Applebee's.
But I would
That
say
wasn't my
it's-
experience. My experience was more like a market broiler, not a market broiler,
Boston Market.
Market, where you
Yeah.
go and it's like you kind of pick at the counter and then they deliver it to your table.
Yeah, it's more like that.
Yeah.
But the food quality was super good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never had rotisserie chicken wings.
No, okay.
And like, is there anywhere else that does that?
Not that I know of, but maybe we should start that in this
And
city.
I mean, it was fucking. I mean, it's kind of like Buffalo Wild Wings, where it's like you just choose your wings, choose your sauce or whatever. But it's like the wings were like the whole wing of the chicken,
Oh, interesting.
delicious,
and
dude.
it was awesome.
It
It
was
was,
an-
so good.
So you got the what's
The
it called?
roulette.
The roulette.
So it was just like I kind of got all the different
A
sauces,
bunch of
and
different flavors. So like the hottest one, maybe you'll get a
Shit
bunch, couple
fucked
miles.
me up.
Yeah.
It's good though.
So you guys did Nando's just the one time?
Just one. Well, we did a meet and greet at Nando's, and that was awesome.
That's
Like,
great.
The place was, it was like 2-story place.
Yeah, I think I got a
was
phone call from that at
super full.
8:15 in the morning on a Saturday.
Oh, that was.
Thanks, Greg.
That was during the panel.
That was during
okay.
that was during center stage.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And then we went back to Nando's the next day to actually eat because we didn't eat the first time.
Oh,
Yeah,
copy
there was a moment where we knew the Rooster Teeth Platinum Party was going to be later on that night. And Tim and I didn't have anything left, but I think Greg was still doing
Greg had a
something.
dinner.
Yeah, Greg was doing a dinner with somebody. So he was like, hey, do you want to go eat with Lou and Fareed somewhere? And so they were like, where do y'all want to eat? I was like, we haven't had Nando's yet, you know?
Get
It was
cheeky,
so
baby.
fucking good, dude.
It was so good.
It reminded me exactly of when my dad barbecues wings, where he just gets the big wing pieces, throws them on a grill, or throws them on a barbecue, like, you know what I mean?
Well, I also feel like Nando's, and this is probably just more of a function over
mouth's
fashion
watering,
here.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Nando's does sound good when you think, I'm so tired. We've just done like 3 things in a row. We've just traveled. I haven't slept. I don't want a sit down restaurant where I have to wait forever because in Europe, for whatever reason, their idea of service is over the course of
They don't-
18 fucking
They
hours.
don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Nando's sounds good because it's get in, decent food, sit down, relax. They got the rice pilaf that comes with stuff, and I'm a big rice pilaf fan when I'm
Yeah.
doing carbs. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that must have been a fun experience.
All the other food, though, besides that, I would
Bland.
put very low tier.
Yeah. They're not really known for the
It was
food there.
kind of upsetting.
Did you get shawarma at all?
We didn't. Oh, yeah.
They got a lot of shawarma stands. I love that.
We did kebabs.
No, kebab, excuse me, not shawarma.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of
We did
kebab
chicken
stands.
kebabs, and that was huge disappointment.
Really?
So here's it was huge disappointment. But I will say, everyone always gives America shit because they're like, oh, your portions are insane. Maybe it was just the places we went. The portions were fucking insane.
Were they?
They're huge.
They were like for like 4 people, man.
Oh, man, that's how they do it there.
We
was
had 2
nuts.
steaks,
They gotta
and
get their
both of them
vitamin
were,
D.
both steaks
Yeah.
I had were very below average.
They might be the worst steaks.
I mean, again, London, and this is not a knock to you Londoners out there or to England in general, just not known specifically for the food. There's nothing that really is other than the fish and chips, but I didn't
which were
even
killing.
have those.
They really were fucking.
Oh my
good.
God.
I mean, it's the home of fish and chips. Man.
Yeah, so we the first time we got fish and chips was the day that we went sort of on our sightseeing day. The great thing about this whole trip was like we had one day off to do whatever the hell we wanted, and it was the day after Let's Party London.
That's fun.
So we had Let's Party London, which is sort of this day where all of the Let's Play groups, it's us, Achievement Hunter, only Lawrence from Funhouse, guys from Cow Chop, Criken and his boys. We all got together and just played a bunch of games and hung out in this place called the Red Bull Gaming Sphere.
Naturally. Was that in the O2 Oxygen Arena?
No.
Everything else we did was though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally all the meat and greets. Nando's was there.
We saw that. When we pimped out the meet and greet on the morning show, Joey and I were making fun of the O2 Oxygen Arena.
Why?
Because we're like, it just seems like a place that you two would perform at. You know, it's so
Yeah.
British. And then I was like, oh, I bet there's a football game there. And we Googled it, and it's a tennis. And I'm like, that's even funnier.
Yeah.
They played
Dude,
tennis
the O2
there.
was dope as fuck.
No,
O2 's awesome.
all
There-
kidding aside, it looks bad. It looks badass. It's a
ton
big
of stuff
tent,
in
right?
there.
Like it's a gigantic tented
it's a giant
thing.
tent, and it's like there's a ton of food options, ton of entertainment, movie theater,
Yeah.
concert venue, like a lot of really fucking cool stuff. There was this a bowling alley called Hollywood Bowl, which is where our meet and greet ended up, and the Rooster Teeth party was at. And it's totally just like a entertainment center. So it's like there's a bunch of arcades.
It's like a mall. Almost.
There's a bowling alley, and
Yeah.
then there's a VR experience section, and they had Mario Kart VR.
Oh
So
shit!
we got
Oh
to
yeah,
do
Andy was
fucking
telling me about this. Where they
Mario
like
Kart VR.
blow air at you and shit.
And it's, you're in this little cart and put the VR thing, like the seat moves, you have the steering wheel, and then there's like items above you. You grab the items, you have to like turn back and throw shells and stuff.
Oh, that's so
it was
funny.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get like motion sick once. It was so cool.
Oh, man,
I'm so
last-
used to getting motion sick with like driving games.
Yeah, the only time we've done that I can remember that happened to me was when we did that first Let's Play. Or we did
Club
that. We
VR.
did that.
Drive Club
Yeah,
VR?
Drive Club VR, and I got about halfway through, and I was like, if I throw up my crotch right now,
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone will notice. Here's my big question for you guys: How's Jeff Ramsey doing? Is he doing good?
Jeff Ramsey's doing pretty
He's
damn
doing
well.
great.
I
He
miss
asked
him.
about you.
I miss him.
He did.
I'm bummed I couldn't go, but not really because I chose not to go. It's not
Yeah, it
really
was
like
fun.
a-
It was a good group of people over there. Nice spending time with
so you
all
guys
the
spent time with
RT
Michael
people.
Jones. That's fun.
A lot of Michael Jones
Everyone
time.
really, by the way, really appreciated that you guys took time out of your busy schedule to have Alfredo shirtless while you watched the Nintendo Direct. So that was really fun.
Was he shirtless?
I think at some point someone said he took his shirt off.
I don't know.
No?
I don't think so.
Really?
It was a fun time though.
It was a fun time. I don't think he was shirtless.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I just skimmed through it. We just played.
But
We
yeah,
just
that-
we kind of played it on
That was
morning
a
show.
cool experience.
But how about that LED screen? That
At Red Bull,
The Red
Gaming
Bull
Space?
Gaming Sphere.
So Red Bull Gaming Sphere was like this. It's like it's kind of hard to explain. It's just this space, kind of like YouTube space.
Sure.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, creator of the-
But it's just for like esports and playing games.
Yeah, fucking Red Bull
Shit
has
ton
way
of
too
Red
much
Bull
money.
They have a bunch
you
of
would
bu-
have loved it, dude.
they have a bunch of
Diet Red
desktops
Bull
set up.
everywhere.
Oh God,
Yeah.
sugar-free Red Bull is my lifeblood.
Yeah, they went up to Greg said that he walked up to the little guy and he was like, Hey, what's up? So I recommend the yellow Red Bull's really good. The orange, blah blah, tropical twist. Or whatever. He was like, I just want a water and a coffee. And the guy was like, oh, okay.
Like, well,
so
that's
we couldn't
boring.
have any beverages on camera that either weren't in their sort of designated water bottle or Red Bull.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to be professional now.
Yeah.
Over at Rooster Teeth.
Well, it was
Good for them.
It was a sponsored thing.
Yeah.
By Red Bull.
joking around.
But they had
Just
this
teasing.
giant video wall that was like bigger than this, and it was actually proper 16 by 9,
Mm-hmm.
and the wall was so fucking good quality. Like, it was the highest quality I've ever seen.
That's Red Bull, dude. They have billions
But
of
it
dollars.
was like it was even better than IGN's, where it's like the pitch or whatever.
Yeah, the
of
pitch.
Things, it was proper 1080.
Wow.
So there was 1080 fucking pixels.
That's amazing.
It was so nice, dude.
Yeah, that's it's come a long way. One day.
And so that's where the main sort of games were being played at. And when we sort of ended the whole segment playing Mario Kart, so we did the thing where it's 4 players playing Mario Kart, but 2 players per character, and
Switch
you
control
switch controls every lap.
Oh, right. Were you guys drinking or no? It was like a
No,
beer
drinking.
thing.
No,
Okay.
everybody was kind of fucked
Well,
up
we
by
were
that
all
point.
drinking,
Yeah,
but-
we were all drinking.
What was
yeah.
what was the AWD? What was the all-wheel drive thing that you did? Was this Mario Kart? Is what you're talking about, or was this something else?
I don't know.
Someone said you won a race in a different game. Was that at the panel?
No, that was a physical foot race.
Physical foot race.
Oh, the physical
Beat
foot
Greg
race
in a
that
race.
went roughly 15 feet.
Beat Greg in a race.
Never let him live
beat
that down.
Blaine.
Beat Blaine too.
Yeah, but it was 15 feet. It was like
I
you
wanted to
could've
go
jumped.
longer. It was
You
just
guys, what?
Look,
who's-
they let us do that.
The Guardians were not having it, man.
They were
We were
not-
fucking with everyone so hard.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like they should have not given Kind of Funny the amount of mics and alcohol. that
No,
they
they're
did.
dumb.
No.
Why would they do that?
Yeah, it was-
The thing is, by the time they learn, it's too late. It's already happened.
The thing that makes me really happy is I feel like Kind of Funny fucking brought it.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of great
Everybody
feedback.
had a great time. All the best friends had a great time. I feel like we got a bunch of new best friends now that were only there to see fucking Alfredo's abs or whatever, and now are like, I guess I want to see Andy's abs too.
Oh, they're there.
Like, give them a little
that was
taste.
super
Give
nice.
them a taste.
Oh, it's gross.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. I did the Always Open panel. That was fun. We did Glitch Please.
Was Barb there? For ours? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ashley was there for Glitch, please.
Glitch Please was actually
Barb was a
awesome.
little under the weather.
Yeah, she was
Felt kind of
sick.
bad for her. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
She was feeling sick.
There's nothing worse
She
than
was about to
traveling
head out.
internationally when you're sick. That's so
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
worse because you're like, is this gonna get worse? And then is it gonna like crest by the time I get on that plane back? And your sinuses are like pounding because of the pressure. It's the fucking worst. I'm just snorting Toblerone bars.
What? Why?
I like Toblerone bars.
Oh,
They're so
got it.
European. It was real good. Sorry, that was a callback to a morning show you were not on.
I was on it. I was
Oh,
on
were
it.
you? Okay, cool.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Champ to champ, dude.
Final question for RTX. We can keep talking about it, but I do want to. I have just a bunch of questions of
Yeah,
like stuff
go for
happening. Cameron Cuff.
Yes.
I take offense to this. Okay, because I don't show up at the panel, and maybe this is my fault for not expressing this. Okay, but my natural thought, my assumption is that when I don't go to a panel, you leave my seat empty with just a downlight on it that says in memorandum for Nick.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead, you brought someone taller, better looking, more talented than me, who also grew a beard out.
Yep.
And then did me on the panel.
Hot.
I don't like
He
this.
did, and he did
I don't
a
like
good
this.
job.
I know he did a good job because he's fucking talented. It's annoying.
Man, he's good.
He's heard it both
really,
ways, apparently.
Really good.
I don't like this
He's
at all.
better than you in every way.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Dude, it was a blast hanging out with him.
Dude, he's so great that he
such
came
a
out.
fucking awesome guy. And what I love so much about him is how genuine and real he is, and how he believes in the best friend stuff so much. Like when we went to the meet and greets, he was just fucking out there, and like he was having a blast, like meeting everybody. And it was super fucking cool that when we were on doing the panel, like random jokes would come up, like Andy's 15 Seconds of Sports, or the Rank Those Abs, or like just random stuff. And Cameron
Was on all of them.
Like he knew all the theme songs, he knew all the like little things. And I'm like, damn, dude, like you really fucking still watch us and listen to us. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know why.
He started listening to us long before anything, like right before he was on
and
Cliff on any of that
it's
stuff.
really cool. Anyway,
really
it
good
was
to see.
So great hanging out with him.
That's awesome.
He was super good on the panel. Like, you know, it's funny because it might look easy to people what we do,
Well, it's pretty easy.
and to an extent it is.
Yeah.
But to do it well and to have a kind of like vibe with
still
each other,
figuring that out.
that's not easy.
It's true.
And it's like when you get thrown onto a different group, you're just like us doing stuff with Achievement Hunter. We don't necessarily mesh, you know, like individually or whatever it is. But it's like when we're together, it's like we know how to fucking talk to each other. and
Yeah,
all
we've
that.
been hours and hours of developing that rapport.
But that's what I love about a lot of the best friends is when they do get a chance to be on our shows, they mesh with us so well because they know our vibe and they can kind of just fit right in. You know,
It's nice.
and seeing Cameron on the panel, I'm just like, dude, it's like he worked with us for years.
Greg did a great job at
Fucking
like
awesome.
surprising us and keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, I heard he finally met
He met Shirtless Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
It was pretty cool.
It's
He
weird
did.
that Shirtless Spider-Man decided just for that one day to get some arm tattoos.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Really bizarre.
Big back tattoos.
It was really weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
big
tried to
back
bring that
tattoo.
up, but then one of the shirtless Spider-Mans, there's two now, I guess. One of them moved the microphone away from me.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Did he thwap it?
No.
No,
He
he's
didn't flap
physically.
Yeah, and then he had a lot of trouble finding himself backstage because
Hard to see.
It's
through
hard
the
to see
mask.
through the mask,
Yeah, I
yeah.
understand. Also,
Greg
probably
Miller,
drunk.
though.
Yeah.
Not Shirtless Spider-Man, just Greg Miller himself.
good old Greg.
Continues to impress with the size of shirts that he can squeeze onto his body. Like we went when we were doing the tourist thing, like around London, kind of looking at stuff. We were on a mission to find the smallest London shirts possible, and we found one. We're like, "There's no way Greg can put this on. Like, there's just no way." So we bought one a little bit bigger as well, just in case. And lo and fucking behold, Greg got into both.
He does. Is getting into him. It turns out is the easy part.
It looked like a body
getting him
tattoo.
off Greg is difficult.
Have you seen the pictures of this? Like,
No, but I've seen him in all the other ones. I've seen him in the girl-sized Mizzou shirt that's cut off. That
This
shows
is easily the
everything.
smallest.
they're- yeah.
This
Kevin,
is a
can we bring up a picture of this?
Like,
What?
Can we
Where is
find
it?
this?
Where is
on the
it?
Reddit, I'm sure it's somewhere.
This is easily a shirt for like a 2 or 3 year old.
and he
Yeah.
fucking did it.
Yeah. Very proud of him.
I am. I'm bummed I missed all of this, but I'm also glad because I got a lot done here.
Yeah?
Yeah. We painted some walls. We hung some art. I signed all of except for 3 because I had too much fun with a few of them. I had to throw them out. The
Too much fun.
Well, here's what happened. We got all the prints in for the fan mail tier last month, which was the signed championship headshot of me in
course,
both
yeah.
poses, right?
How can we forget?
Joey went through Joey and Kevin did a great job of organizing all of them, and you know people got to pick what they wanted to pick, but some people just said, Nick, like whatever the champ wants, the champ can say. And I took some licenses with that. We had some marker failures. We had a couple instances where we're not going to point fingers at who did this, but Joey kept fucking trying to put him in the thing and not noticing that a couple of the actual envelopes already had the sticker ripped off. So she'd give it halfway through and then it was just stuck. It was just stuck.
Yeah.
And you had to like pull it and it was not coming.
Yeah. Got it.
So we had a few of those, but yeah, we had a little assembly line for those, got those out. And I finally experienced what I can only explain to you must be Cool Greg's hell, which is the United States Postal Office.
Yeah.
And they don't like him, and he doesn't like them, and I'm on his side on this.
Yeah.
Because, man, I walked out. Here's what I was saying. I was like, okay, how much are these things to send out? Well, let's figure out how much they are to send out. We'll figure out that price, and then you would think there's got to be a way for me to go, we have 60 of these. We need to send them out at this much. Can you just print out labels and I'll tear them off, stick them on, and we're good. And they go, nope, we can't do that. And I'm like, why not? And they're like, we have to sell you $1 stamps and 50-cent stamps, and you have to figure out the math to put these on there, and then you have to hand put each stamp on there. And I was like, where is the stamps.com read? When are we signing up? Like, we got to get this service going because this was just a
We
convoluted
have it
nightmare.
set up. We've just never done it.
And then the guy at the post office goes, you know, you can go to a place that has a little, like a meter, and they'll just print them out for you. And I'm like, I thought I was at that place. Isn't this the place where they do that?
I hate it. That sucks.
And the guy's like, no. And they gave us shit because we bought all the $1 stamps. He's like, you know, these are hard to come by. And I'm like,
fuck you.
fucking no, I didn't know that. Why would I know that? That's
Why
your
are they hard to
world.
come by?
I don't want to be in this hell that is your world. It was weird. We had a great time doing that. And then, I saw Predator, which was the highlight of my last couple weeks because, boy, that was a movie.
Yeah?
Boy, it was a movie.
Let's talk about it, dude.
So how much do you know about Predator?
Very little, actually.
All right. We might get
I
into...
think I've only seen
Predator.
Alien versus Predator.
Okay. All right. So we're going to back up here. I want to take you on a little bit of a journey. 1987, I believe. The movie Predator comes out, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, bringing up second, and then directed, of course, by one John McTiernan. Now, Andy, because you listen to the Dan Le Batard show, you know that there's never been a director that's had a better 3-movie series than Predator, Die Hard, and Hunt for October.
Back to back.
Back to back to back. John
Triple threat.
McTiernan knocks this movie out of the fucking park. Does such a good job with this film that he actually makes Arnold Schwarzenegger look like a real actor, which was impossible. I mean, to
It
put it
was
in context,
impossible.
to put it in context, the movies he had done before that were like Commando and The Running Man, and at no point did he approach anything that was close to acting. But he looked great in this movie.
So, I mean, me just not understanding
Sure.
this stuff. Predator's not in that same league. Like, Predator's legitimately a good movie.
the original Predator is legitimately one of the best action movies ever made. And the reason being is because it's played very straight. There's very little humor. It's not really explained why the Predator's there or what he's doing. You get this, like, there are small one lines here or there, like, hey, we're being hunted by this thing, and it looks like we're being hunted for sport, but we don't. There's never really explicitly explained what the Predator's backstory is. In fact, I read some of the IMDb trivia on it, and there's a scene at the very beginning that shows the ship in space coming, and that was added later, much to the dismay of John McTiernan, because he wanted you to just drop into this world with these badass mercenaries and then have them get picked off one by one by something that was even more badass. And that was it. And it's in very many ways kind of a horror sci-fi movie too, because they're just getting hunted fucking and brutalized by this thing, and then it just comes to the climactic finish and we're out. And it's very, very, like, there's no fat on this movie. It's just exactly what you want, with the exception of the random incredibly indulgent scene where they attack a village and just fucking blow people out of the way, and they're actually spitting one-liners. Like, he throws a knife at someone and the guy sticks to the thing and he goes, "Stick around." It's great. Okay. It's great. So the 87, aside from being a classic, and I'm not saying this in classic Nick fashion where I'm just talking out of my ass, is legitimately just a great movie and is held as one of the best action movies ever made. You get Predator 2, which is, they were like, hey, you know what's cooler than the Predator hunting in a densely populated jungle? Him going and hunting in LA. And I'm like, all right, you piqued my curiosity. Who's going to be the star of this movie? And they're like, no better star for an action-packed movie where a muscle-bound guy fights an alien than Danny Glover. And I'm like, Danny Glover.
That's a choice.
That's a choice. Ended up being an okay choice.
Really?
Okay, because he was supposed to be, they weren't setting him up as the badass. He was like a police detective. So he's a cop. He's a tough cop.
Set around the LA riots.
Set in the far future. This movie was made, I believe, in 1990. It was set in the far future of 1997.
Okay.
Yeah. They were like, and they envisioned a future in 1997 where LA was so hot that
Flying
people were
cars.
sweating constantly. No, they just had cooler
Everybody
cars.
was so sweaty.
But that was supposed to be the point, which was that the Predator likes to hunt in hot, like he's like reptilian, so he likes hot environments. And like can see heat and all these things. So LA, the heat wave, he comes there, he's hunting, and it's not shot as well, and it's kind of goofy, and there's some gang warfare stuff, but it's still a pretty cool movie. We see a little bit more about the Predators. Still don't know much about them, right? Then we get to Alien versus Predator.
What, really?
Yeah.
There wasn't a third Predator.
No.
Alien versus Predator.
There was a third Predator, but Alien versus Predator, I believe, was the next in the series.
Wow.
So AVP happens. This is after Alien you can look it up.
Yeah.
Alien 4, where they're on the fucking spaceship and everything's weird. Resurrection, thank you. AVP.
It's not that bad.
That was Alien 3.
No, Alien 3 was Alien 3.
Yeah,
Alien 4 was Alien Resurrection. Yeah. Alien 3 was on a penal colony, and it was actually pretty kind of a dope film, kind of unfinished though. So and look up all these facts because I could be getting some of these wrong. But I believe the next in the series was Alien versus Predator. That was the one that happens in the ice, where basically it's
Antarctica, right?
Antarctica, and the concept is this is where the Predators go to train, and they train against the most vicious hunter ever imagined by anything, which is the alien. And they go, and it's like a rite of passage. So 3 young Predators have to go, and they have to find their weapons, and they have to train, and they have to survive, and whoever survives, I guess, gets put in the next section. Cool concept, poorly done.
Yeah.
Okay. Next movie, Alien versus Predator 2, which is also known as Alien versus Predator Requiem. Which actually, I stand by, was a pretty cool film.
Never seen
right?
it.
It's a direct sequel, picks up right after AVP, right? Same plane that ends AVP, crash lands, aliens get out, and this Predator has to go. The Predator, that's the last Predator standing. I'm sorry. I believe that the ship from AVP that gets away crashes, that Predator dies, then another Predator picks up a distress signal, and they're basically like, yo, shit's about to go down on Earth. You got to go clean this shit up. So he's kind of a good guy in that, ish, even though he fucks everyone up. So the Predator kind of becomes the good guy, but also the main humans are the good guys. It's cool. It's a small town kind of horror feel where like these monsters are picking these people off, and it's very, very horror inspired, whereas
like,
AVP was kind of sci-fi-y.
Yeah.
Tim, in one scene, an alien face crawler goes into like a baby ward, right? Mm-hmm. And then just
It's really sad.
Jesus.
And really fucking intense.
I remember, and let me know if I'm wrong about this. I remember this movie having one of those weird things that had like an alternate second half or something, where it's like there's 2 versions of this movie.
That I'm not familiar with.
Okay.
But if Andy looks it up, or Kevin can look it up right now.
Kevin would know.
So that was cool. It's a one-off story, and it kind of just is self-contained, which is dope. And I like the ending of it too. Like that centers around a female protagonist who is I believe she's a Marine or like Army recon, coming back from her tour of duty only to find that her town's been overrun by not only aliens but a predator and a spoilers predator alien hybrid that is fucking terrifying. And like there's a scene in this. They do some cool stuff in this. I think I actually like this one. This one has a whole special place in my heart. I like it way better than AVP, which is just kind of a throwaway movie. It's Alien versus Predator.
Adrian Brody.
Then we get to Predators. Predators is Adrian Brody. And this movie has no right to be as good as it is.
Is it a reboot?
It is a soft reboot, roughly. It is not
take place in the universe.
It takes place in the universe, but it is pretty much the exact same plot as the 87 Predator. Okay, a team of people being hunted by a predator in a jungle-like setting. The difference is the way the movie starts off is it starts off on a close-up of Adrian Brody's face with wind hitting him, and then we pull out and he's just falling, and he wakes up freaking the fuck out, pops a parachute, lands, looks up, and he's on a different planet, and then looks over and there's a bunch of other parachutes, and basically the predators have kidnapped like hardcore motherfuckers from Earth, like mercs, like Adrian Brody is like an Navy SEAL merc, head of a Yakuza, like the worst prisoner you could possibly think of. And so they have to figure out why they're all on this place together. Like they're like, what were you? You were a Russian mob, you're a Yakuza. Topher Grace is there. You're not quite sure why the fuck he's there because he feels like, he's like, I got pulled for no reason. Like this is fucked up.
I'm an accountant.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just an accountant. And so they have to survive, but they're being hunted by multiple predators on this like new world. And it's basically the plot of Predator, but it's just done in just a slightly different way to keep your interest. Cool. And then they also that's there that they introduce the bigger version. Like there's a normal predator, and then there's like a different race of predators that are bigger, and they fucking hate each other, and they pick on the smaller ones. And so there's
shit. It's like the Covenant. And the Covenant.
Yeah. So then they have to figure out not only how to survive, but they have to figure out how to get off this planet.
Predators, by the way, came out in 2010, and I feel like it came out in 2001.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but it kind of came.
It feels like it was way longer ago.
So then flash forward, of course, to a couple weeks ago when Shane Black's Predators comes out. The Predator. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Shane Black's The Predator is the name of the newest incantation of the Predator series. This movie tries to do a lot of good in that it realizes, hey, we've not only once but twice already done the team of mercenaries being hunted down in a jungle. So we can't do that. So it tries to add a lot more of a subplot to what's going on with the predators in the predator world. There's a whole political thing happening with predators. There's multiple predators on the earth. You see the mega predator guy hunting the smaller predator, but this other. So there's all sorts of convoluted ideas that are going on in this movie that are really cool, but just not done very well. And then you add to that this team of mercenaries that there's no real reason for them to be in this movie at all. They really don't do anything other than they're an excuse and a vehicle to deliver throwaway lines that move the plot along, but also have some comic back and forth, which was not very good. To be like one of them, Thomas Jane's character has Tourette's, and it falls flat every time he does anything because like just randomly screaming out the C word, you're like, all right, dude, is that what we're doing here? Olivia Munn's character is thrown in there, but you could totally tell they were like, we cannot just have this person be in here and do nothing. So you can tell she was thrown in there to basically to give context to the biology of what was going on, like what was happening, like the larger plot. But then they were like, we can't just have her just saying words the entire time. So midway through, she just picks up a rifle and starts shooting like she's. All right. And you're like, no, it's not all right. Because you're like, why the fuck would she do that? Like, this is all weird.
Who would you say is a standout of the movie?
Sterling K. Brown is fan-fucking-tastic. And he has some of the laugh out loud moments.
He's from
People versus O.J. Simpson.
Oh, no. I was thinking.
Black Panther.
Sterling K. Brown. Is he the one from?
I think he played one of the younger guys. In Oakland. He was great, and I got to give it to Boyd Holbrook. I fucking love that guy. He was the guy that was a bad guy in Logan.
He's on This Is Us. That's where I know him from.
Yes, he is on This Is Us. Yeah. It's great. This movie is a fun, jumbled mess.
Yeah.
That I thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish. I definitely recommend seeing it in theaters. Just know you're wasting your money.
Yeah.
Get a big Coke, get a popcorn, sit back.
Give me a big cherry Coke.
Who gives a shit?
Enjoy it.
Because a lot of it's tongue in cheek, and a lot of it is them making fun of like the genre and all the stuff, and them being a little self-aware that this ground has been treaded on many times before. But it's far and away not a good Predator movie. It's not very good.
So I saw another
Yeah.
movie right before I went to London, and I don't think I forgot to talk about it on the show yet. Searching.
Yeah, Joe saw it.
Oh yeah.
She liked it a lot.
So it's the new movie by John Cho.
Mm-hmm.
He directed it and stars in it. Do you know who John Cho is?
I do not know.
Harold and Kumar.
Okay.
He's Harold. He's also in the Star Trek reboots.
Yeah.
Hikaru Sulu.
So he just put out this new movie called Searching. It's kind of one of
I
those
think I
more
just
like
messed that up.
indie type movies, like a very small
Budget.
title, right? Small budget.
That's an
like
indie,
very, yeah, very indie.
It's made by the same people that did Unfriended,
Yes.
The horror movie.
the
Yes.
horror movie.
Really?
So that's which utilized a lot of the same sort of techniques as this movie.
So the gimmick of this movie is that every single
Is this
thing,
a horror?
No, it's
Okay.
it's a mystery.
more of a thriller.
Thriller mystery.
Joe's throwing the
type
shock
thing
mic
going
coming
on
out.
here.
He's talking about searching.
Searching. So the movie, every single thing that you see is on a screen. So it's kind of like Chronicle, how every shot is somehow from a
Handheld.
video camera.
Yeah.
This, every single shot is from a screen. So if you're seeing somebody, it's FaceTime or it's a webcam or Skype or something like that. If you're not seeing them, you can hear them and just see like them doing stuff. They'll be using like Google, and you see them doing the Google search. Or you'll see like instant messengers pop up or whatever. I don't want
Live
to spoil.
streaming.
I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, a lot of live stream stuff. And
YouTube, all that.
the whole idea is like they got to stick to that concept, and it really works. It sounds super gimmicky, where you're like, at some point this is gonna get old.
It's like phone booth.
They never let it go there.
That's not a good. That's not a good example. That was Colin Farrell or Sam. No,
Colin Farrell?
That was Colin Farrell. Yeah, that was not a good movie.
Where he's in a phone booth the whole movie?
He's just literally stuck in a phone booth the entire movie.
I never saw it.
The guy's like, if you get off the phone, I'll
There's a
fucking
sniper,
shoot
right?
you.
I
And
loved
he's
it as a
like,
kid, yeah.
Okay, this sucks for me.
This fucking worked, and I love it because I was talking to Nick before I saw it about an interview with John Cho.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he's like not sure if the idea is going to work.
He
And
was
even
vehemently against the idea.
as they were making the movie, he's like, it shouldn't all be that. I'm so happy they did, because it builds such a amazing kind of pace to the movie, and you're always questioning what they're going to do next, and they never settle on one gimmick for too long. So it's like like there's one moment, and I'm not going to spoil any of the cool stuff in this, but there's a moment where they leave the house, and you're like, what are they going to, like, how are you going to get this?
Yeah.
And then it's like a GPS pops up, like Google Maps, and then you see the car going, and you're like, this is fucking super cool. The movie opens with a really cool montage, like kind of introducing the
Only
different
in theaters?
characters. Yes, in theaters right now.
Okay. Is it available like on demand?
No, not yet.
so.
It's a
Not
legit. It's a legit release.
Yeah,
It's which is weird. It's a
full
big
movie.
gamble for them, but
I think it's going to pay off, because like
they're gonna make a ton of money
getting
off of it.
Super good
Oh, yeah.
reviews.
it also
but yeah,
probably only cost them like the salaries of the employee of the actors and a
Motion
really good
artist.
motion graphic
really
artist.
good motion artists.
Yeah.
Like I was blown away, because so the movie opens with a montage introducing you to the family of characters, and each family or each member of the family, you learn about them through their computer. So it'll cut between Windows
It's really
95
cool.
and like one of the characters has like an Alienware, so you can tell like, oh, like that's the teenage boy guy.
That would be Kevin.
And then there's like
would be Kevin's
the
character.
MacBook. It's like, oh, that's the teenage girl. And then the Windows 95 is like the mom who
Mm-hmm.
like doesn't really know how to use computers. And it's like very cool. And they
I feel like that's what Pixar would do if they were to make a movie about like computers that have
totally.
human.
And they faithfully recreate all of the user interfaces and stuff with motion graphics. And it does a lot of zoom ins and stuff, but the quality's super high. Like it's not all shitty and pixelated.
yeah.
Whoever the fuck did the motion graphics, like it was like the most impressive shit I've ever seen. And what's cool is the montage in the beginning sets the tone and the pace for the movie. And usually when you see really cool things like that in the beginning, you're like, all right, then there's gonna be a title screen and the movie starts. It just keeps going. Like the entire movie kind of feels like a very, very well edited, put together montage that just keeps building.
That's
over
cool
and
as hell.
over. And it's like the story of this guy's daughter that goes missing, and you just like you're putting together from him working with the
Oh, I
detective.
can't wait to watch that.
Like what happened to her? Like is she okay? And it's fucking rad.
Yeah, it was one of the things with even the director was like when they first started, like the production company approached him to do that. I think he was talking about like how he's like we needed to make sure that we needed to be very aware that this was a gimmick and it really needed to service the plot and it really needed to serve to build tension, and so they paid extra special care to that. And from what it sounds like, they really nailed it.
Yeah, the movie does a very good job of kind of leading you down a direction of thinking you know what's about to happen, and then there's so many twists, and I feel like for the most part they're all satisfying. Some are more satisfying than others, but like there are just moments in this movie where I'm like, I can't believe they're going here, and I feel it's a perfect mix of using the screen stuff in an interesting way and having cool plot points where you're like, oh, I thought I noticed that earlier, but now this confirms it. It feels like a really, really, really good episode of Law and Order.
Yeah. I was gonna say, this is like the most Tim Gettys ass movie ever.
It really
because
is.
Like this is what I imagine your life is like, and I don't mean this as an insult. Whenever a new iPhone or Nintendo rumor pops, you go down this screen rabbit hole. Like so if I was looking at you, this is what I imagine the 2 hours of your life would be, where it starts with like, hey, there's a rumor that there's an iPhone XR coming out, and then 2 hours later you're like, confirmed, I found it.
It's fucking cool because it's like you'll see people in like the tabs that they have open, and you're just like, I wonder what that website is, and like the dad has to go in and like try to figure it out. And then there's just moments where they like use every app like that you could imagine just having some type of cool use for to advance the plot. It's so impressive. Like, what do you think about it, Joe?
I really, really liked it. I thought that they did a really good job of using different types of media, so you weren't locked into one thing, which is totally what I thought it was going to be. Like, oh, is this all going to be through FaceTime? Like, that's going to get
FaceTime's the thing they use the most, where I'm like, no one uses FaceTime like this.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll give it to them because.
But they do a really good job of integrating different ways, and like you said, with like using maps and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, this is how you move outside of just like move it around.
If it was a Spider-Man, it would have been Bing Video.
Oh Christ!
It would have. Well, that was what's cool about this is like they would use stuff like Bing, but it wouldn't just be Bing. Then someone else would have Internet Explorer, someone else would have Google Chrome, and it really builds the characters. Like you start to believe in the world that they're making.
That's not realistic, though.
Nobody uses Internet Explorer. So here's the thing: you mentioned Love, Simon. I think we can all agree this movie's phenomenal. Everyone should watch this. Here's the bone me and Joey have been waiting to pick with you for a very, very long time. And I'm glad I remembered this. It's almost as if I planned it, but rest assured, I did not.
Thanks to DC Universe for supporting the Game Over Greggy show. It's the ultimate DC membership created just for DC fans. Of course, Greg Miller, big fan of this whole thing. It's the only place that you can watch the original DC series, the all-new live-action Titans that's premiering fall 2018, Young Justice, Outsiders, Doom Patrol, Swamp Thing, Stargirl, and Harley Quinn. They're all coming in 2019. It's going to be a fun time over there. New episodes available weekly, so there's always something to look forward to. And it's not just TV series. There's comics, too. It's the ultimate DC membership here. The comic reader has to be seen to be believed. It works with your big screen TV, so you can watch or you can read comics from your TV. You don't even need to leave your couch. It's everything's there for you, Kev. Thoughtfully curated, regularly refreshed library of digital comics, 2,500 modern and classic titles. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of DC comics. Filled with exclusive merch. Members only shop with collectibles, posters, t-shirts, and more. Available on all of your favorite devices: iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Google Chromecast. Pretty much everything. Watching the series, reading the comics. It's the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. You can join for just $7.99 a month, or better yet, grab an annual membership for just $74.99 and save 20%. You can feel like what it's to have an entire universe that revolves around you. Join today at dcuniverse.com. $7.99 a month or $74.99 for the annual thing. Save 20%. I would do that one. That sounds a lot better. And also, shout out to Robinhood for sponsoring the Game Over Greggy show this week. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy. So that's all of us out there, me and you included. Non-intimidating ways for stock market newcomers to invest for the first time with true confidence. That's going to be me. I've never done this before, but Kevin's doing it for years, and I feel like I'm messing up for not being here.
I've been telling you for so long to do it, and it's super easy now.
Yeah? Okay, well, they're making it easy because this is simple and intuitive, clear design with data presented in an easy to digest way. What was your experience with Robinhood, Kev?
Oh, it was very simple. Yeah, it was really easy. Download the app. Well, go to the site,
Mm-hmm.
download the app. You get a little extra.
I'm intimidated by this whole thing. Is
And
it?
like, I understand your intimidation. It's a process,
Yeah.
but like you need to do it.
Okay. And Robinhood's making it easier. Here's the value of the Robinhood app. Other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees, trade stocks, and you get to keep all of your profits. It's easy to understand charts and market data, place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. That sounds too easy. You get to learn by doing it. Learn how to invest as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, and track favorite companies with personalized news feeds, custom notifications for price movements, so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. Sign up at Greggy.Robinhood.com. That's Greggy.Robinhood.com. That's a free stock. Why would you not do that? That sounds awesome. Especially for like Apple. What? But yeah, check that out. Robinhood giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. Sign up at Greggy.Robinhood.com. That's Greggy.Robinhood.com.
How can you not like To All the Boys I've Loved Before? I just
Movie on Netflix.
don't get it. This
I
movie's
do
on
like it.
Netflix. It is a
Nick
Netflix.
just doesn't, or Tim just doesn't love it.
I don't love it. And now here's the thing. I can now double down and stand by that because I feel this year, or at least year and a half or whatever it is, we've gotten so many amazing coming of age stories like that are very similar. And now that I've watched Love, Simon and Lady Bird, I'm like, those are so much better than that movie.
Oh no, undeniably.
And then on top of that, you got 8th Grade, which is the number one.
Yeah,
It's so freaking
I still haven't seen
good.
8th Grade. No, I haven't seen that yet.
To All the Boys I've Loved Before, it's fun. It's Netflix though. It
It's-
feels like Netflix.
One of the things it does to me though, it was so unabashedly charming and
Yeah.
so adorable. And the main character, was it Laura Condor? Is that her name?
Lana Condor.
Lana Condor is just the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. I'm
Yeah,
like,
she's great.
I just was so taken by this movie. I'm like, I want to see the next, whatever the next in the book series is going to be. I want to see this.
Is there a book?
Oh, there's
There's
4
3
there's
books.
3 books.
No shit.
Yeah,
Are they
there's-
like sequels to each other? Or
Yes.
is it,
So they
Really?
kind of took a little bit of the second book and put it into the movie to give it a little bit more of a rounded out
okay.
story.
I'm in.
Yeah,
they're gonna make some other ones.
I'm gonna look them up.
Interesting though, I wouldn't have put this in the same echelon as Lady Bird and Love, Simon in 8th Grade, which I've only seen Lady Bird out of those 3 because I feel like this was way more rom-commy than coming of age.
So, Lady Bird, I feel, is the biggest outlier
Okay.
of those. But I do feel, and like, yeah, it is more rom-commy than the other 2. But I do feel like they're kind of in a similar vein, especially Love, Simon.
Okay,
where
I haven't
it's
seen
like
either of
just
those.
the character
two.
dynamics that everybody has. Like, everyone needs to watch 8th Grade. It's fantastic. Have you seen any of these?
No.
You should watch all of them. Like, they're all varying degrees of good to amazing.
The trilogy is called the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy.
Love it.
I love it. The first of which is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. What the fuck? Why the fuck would you not have all of them? Why would you not have all birds? Give me the bibliography.
I also watched the other movie that Noah Centineo is in, which is Sierra Burgess is a Loser. And that goes kind of along the same lines as To All the Boys I Loved Before and
Oh, that's a movie. I thought that was a series.
Noah's movie.
Interesting.
I'm
That's
sorry.
the girl from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah. And the setup. I think Netflix has been doing like a really good job with their
Nope,
And-
I got that wrong.
originals.
The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy is not this book series. I apologize. That's my bad.
We'll wait for an update.
My bad.
The Setup, which is a Netflix movie with Zoe Deutsch, which,
Yeah.
by the way, Flower is another movie that I put in that category, and I put Flower right next to 8th Grade. So fucking
Is that
good.
another Netflix original?
It's not Netflix.
Okay.
It's an indie movie that came
Got
out starring Zoe, and she's fantastic. But the Setup, I feel, nailed what it was trying to do more than To All the Boys I Loved Before.
What? Really?
The Setup didn't feel like a Netflix movie. It felt like a rom-com movie from 2005, but in 2018.
I feel very
I didn't
similar
love
about
the
To All the
setup.
Boys.
The setup was fun, but it felt like a Netflix movie, which I don't like.
I don't think it did at all.
That was the one where they were trying to set their bosses up.
Yeah, it's
I was like,
Lucy Liu.
I don't.
It's great.
You guys have all
Quit your
talked
fucking
about.
jobs.
You guys have all talked about what you watched.
Hold on. Just to clarify, it's To All the Boys I Loved Before, P.S. I Love You, and Always and Forever, Laura Jean.
Man, those
Now
are
tell
some
me- I'm gonna say-
YA book titles.
And I'm fucking 100% in, Joe,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm still
Sign
touching
me up.
Andy while I'm talking to you, and this is making you super happy. I want these next 2 movies.
Oh,
They
I
need
do
to
too.
fucking immediately
Are we
make
getting
them.
them?
Probably.
I would be shocked
And
if
this
we
is a
didn't.
huge hit.
Yeah.
You have to imagine because of the hit of this, because of the market penetration, they're going to do these next.
The
two
money
movies.
that they put into other shit, like you got to assume they
Yeah.
know that they have like a hit on their hands. All right, guys, let me set the scene for you. All right, it's nighttime in old London, England, Great Britain, United Kingdom, and I'm just hanging out and I'm watching Great British Bake Off. It's like 11.
good.
It's like 10:30ish, 11 p.m. I know that I got to start packing because I'm leaving tomorrow. Right. I put the TV on mute because it's just kind of like background. It was on in the background. Put it on mute. I was like, oh, I haven't caught up on the latest Lebitard show. Started listening to the Lebitard show.
Great.
About an hour and a half goes by. I'm still packing, just kind of farting around. Look up at the TV. 4 dicks on the screen. Screen is just full of dicks.
Yeah.
Hanging, flopping real
Real
dicks.
dicks.
Real ass dicks. Just hanging. And I'm like, what the I was just watching Great British Bake Off. What did this turn into?
It's a baking show called The Dipstick.
It is a reality show called Naked Attraction.
Yeah, it is.
In which one person is trying to find the next love of their life based on how their body looks. And it was a man trying to find his boyfriend or possibly future husband. And the way the game works is there are 4 giant tubes which with each human being in them, and the guy judges them, and the tube reveals from the feet all the way up to the waist. It's like, all right, we're only looking looking at dicks right now.
Let me back up. So this person is someone he has met before.
No.
Oh, so they're
These are
basically
random
these
people.
are 4 random. So you're not
These
trying
are
to
strangers.
get like, it's not like I'm looking and then I see your 2 feet. So I'm like, that's Andy.
No. These are all just strangers. It reveals from the feet all the way to the waist, and we're just looking at dicks right now. Oh, do you like having the mushroom head on there? You know, I do like the head. I like seeing him. He's got a great.
This sounds awesome.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a great-
fantastic
greatest show
girth
ever made.
right there. I like the size of that one. Beautiful legs on this chap. I love it. And it's just like, I was like, what is this show? How is this real? And then it reveals up until the neck, and then it's like, do you fancy a nipple? I do like my nipples being played with, actually. I enjoy it quite a bit. And then they're just judging, and then, so with each round, he's eliminating people, right? Actually, I don't think it's 4. I think it's 6, maybe. Either way, after the dick round, he eliminates one person. Then the person gets revealed and
they
walks
start
out.
with the dick.
Yeah. Walks out, they hug each other, and he's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, oh, it's fine, mate, don't. And they cut to the guy in the back room. He's like, he said he likes to party, and so do I, so that's his loss, whatever. And then they keep removing people or whatever. Finally, it's the dude and 2 people, I believe. He has to show them himself naked. The judger becomes the judgee.
Oh no! And
What a
they get to
twist.
pick if they want him.
No. They just come out, but
Oh, okay.
so
We
during
just
one
seen
of
a lot
them,
of dick.
so there's funny little moment between 2 of the contestants. One of them a super buff bald dude, and the other one kind of a skinnier guy, like pretty boy or whatever. And they're both looking at each other naked, and the judge is like, "What do y'all think of each other?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, very handsome. Yeah, I'd totally like go on a date with you or whatever." And then the guy comes out and shows them his body, and he's naked. And then the guy essentially picks the bald guy, right? Super buff dude, really, really handsome. And they go on a date. They're like, well, the next time you see each other, you're going to be fully clothed. So that's where they set up the date. And they go out on the date or whatever. And they hang out and talk, and it's all fine, whatever. And then they meet up again 3 months later, because I don't think it worked out. And the bald guy reveals that same day, him and his contestant, the guy he was going against, went out on a date the
Hooked
same
up.
night.
Hooked up.
Yeah, and they show like the guy who was like judging him, kind of like, oh man, like you fucked the other guy. You like, wow, that's kind of bullshit, whatever.
hot.
Then we move on to round 2, well, a different contestant, and it's a guy judging naked women. Thing goes up, nothing but vag everywhere, just
Yeah.
just pussy
Gotta
everywhere.
do it.
And we're looking and he's like, I'm not a big fan of her labia. But like, oh, this one has a clitoris ring. How do you like that? Oh, by the way, one of the guys in the earlier round had a gooch piercing, and he was like,
It's got the on the fucking grundle.
yeah.
Did they show it?
Oh yeah,
Oh, man.
showed the gooch piercing.
How do you
sounds
see a
crazy.
how do you see
What
how do you
kind
see a
of
chaunch
channel
piercing?
is
Because
this
it turns around.
But did he have to lift it up to see? Am I getting the right
No,
part
he
of the
just turned
anatomy
around.
right?
He turned around. The camera's showing the gooch.
Oh, they showed the gooch.
Yeah.
That must be a big ring.
Jesus
though.
Anyway,
fucking Christ! Or
so
either
that-
that or he's got a really
Anyway,
small
so
butthole.
this guy's like judging all these women's vaginas, And he's like, I like her legs quite a bit. I think she has some really nice legs. But this isn't too much, blah, blah, like too much hair. And she's like, do you like hair? I don't really like hair. I do prefer it to be, because when I go down on him, I get rug burn on my nose. And
not
stuff like
true.
that's
He's doing
happening.
it wrong.
So he kicks people off, and then it keeps raising. And by the time you know it, you're like, all right, he's definitely going to pick that girl, regardless of what she's like. Because clearly she's like, I think what they revealed was like she was a former model. And she was like some Italian woman, like beautiful woman. And of course he picked her. And they went on a date, and she just wasn't feeling it. She was like a 49-year-old, like former model. And the guy was like, earlier on when he was picking from the women, he said, I'm looking for somebody for the next 20 years that I can be with. This guy must have been 50, maybe. And they go out on the date, and she just wasn't feeling it. And they interview them separately. She's like, well, he said he wants somebody for the next 40 years, or for the next 20 years. And I'm just like, that's too much. Like, this woman just here to play. Like, this woman just wants dick.
She knows what she's got.
It's awesome. It's really cool.
And what she's got is still in high demand.
Yeah, it was great.
You get what I am saying.
It was great, yeah. But it was still just, I just didn't understand how. And then on the bottom right, next up, British Bake Off. It's like, how are you sandwiching this show between 2 episodes of British Bake Off?
I'm so into this. I want to fucking
What's
watch
this
it.
called?
Naked Attraction.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I tell you, when I was a kid, my parents took my brother and I to Italy, and I'll never forget this. We were sitting there. It was like we went to bed early back in the day, so it couldn't have been like later than like 7 or 8 p.m. And of course, we're just watching TV, and then we can't understand any of it. It's all in Italian. It's back in like the 80s. And I'll never forget, they were flipping around channels, and a show came on, and it was a game show with just naked people. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Copo Grosso, which was like, I don't even know what that means. I haven't even bothered to look it up.
Gross cup.
No, grosso probably means like big. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. I have to Google it. But I remember watching this, and I was like, I don't understand, because prior to this, the only nudity I'd ever seen on TV was either in movies that were like rented, or when we were in like the hotel and it was kind of scrambled for a second, and then you'd see a nip and you'd be like,
Yeah.
So I was just thrown by this. Just shook by this.
Yeah.
And for a kid,
shocking.
For a child who is closely approaching puberty, this was an epiphany for me. And I legitimately was like, how do I sneak back down and watch this? But this is like, there's no DVR. Like, how am I supposed to? It was, oh man, it was so crazy. And but my family in Italy was like, no, this is what's on. And I'm like, but I don't understand. Is this like the adult channel? And they're like, no, we just don't give a fuck, because we're in Italy and we don't care about sexuality here. Like, you can show nudity, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, man, we got it backward in the States.
It was so weird, dude. What it reminded me of was God, I think during the first round, I forgot what I lost my train of thought. But either way, the guy's walking out, and the guy has to show himself to the girls naked. And it's like, all right, let's see what kind of dick this guy's got. Dude's got a big old dick.
Yeah.
like he's a big old hanging dick. I was like, all right, good for you, man.
Good for you, dude.
And then and they were showing the 2 girls, and they're like, well, what do you think of him naked? And the one girl was like, yeah, I like it. It's like, fuck, they're gonna fuck later.
Naked Attraction viewers disgusted as Channel 4 show returns. Quote, what the fuck is this? Channel 4 viewers were horrified after Naked Attraction returned for a second season last night, leaving fans disgusted.
Dude,
as the controversial dating show once more revealed a batch of naked bodies, viewers were left reeling as Channel 4 didn't hide anything.
Well, what's shocking about it is that, like, who are these contestants so willing to sign up for the show where, like, because when they announce them, they're like,
the same people, the same dipshits, or like, I shouldn't say dipshits, but the same people that signed up for that naked dating show in America. Remember that one woman got pissed because they flashed her vag like 5 times?
Well, the thing about this one, it was like, they'd be like, this is Laura. She's an accountant from so-and-so. This guy's a banker from blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you're just like openly telling these people where they're from, and like that's.
Well, for one,
these
probably
people don't care about their personal lives.
Well, for one, I mean, yes,
or they must be self-made. They don't give a shit.
This is
Good for
this
them.
is well, for one, obviously, like a lot of this is probably made up. 2, I think we're still ascribing sort of our notions on what's acceptable.
Sure.
I don't.
Sounds like they don't like it.
It sounds like they don't like it either.
fair. But like again, I mean, not that England's necessarily 100% European, but like they're a little bit looser on what is and is not acceptable. Plus, people just want to be famous, man. They'll do anything to be famous.
I was reminded of this because I saw Rahul Kohli's fiance Yasmin tweet about like, holy shit, I love Naked Attraction. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot to talk about that on the morning show.
Oh, I love it.
Such a weird
Talk about it tomorrow so I can use that as a headline for the morning show.
Friday,
you motherfucker. You motherfucker. No, that just sounds like a show I would be wildly addicted to.
It was really bizarre, dude.
It's very
to just
strange.
like look up and like there's a bunch of dicks on my screen. What's happening?
That must have shocked
Yeah.
you. I love it.
I can't
was
believe
very
they
bizarre.
They just show that stuff.
They just show the whole dick and then they spin around because they're on little like turnstile, like
Little lazy Susan.
Yeah,
Little mechanized
Well,
turning
they're just
machine.
in a tube, right? So then they just sort of like, and then it's like, oh, there's a gooch piercing, and they talk about the gooch
the
piercing.
big reveal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then like one of the women had nipple piercings, and the guy was like, I prefer the soft texture, and when I'm licking around there, and you feel something hard, it kind of throws me off. And I was like, no, you just don't like the way she looks, like because the other girl has a nipple piercing, and you're into her because she's hotter. Like, don't be a fucking dick
come on,
about
just
it,
fucking say it, man.
Yeah.
Like this of any show, this is the show to be superficial.
Yeah,
just do it.
And they would walk out, he'd be like,
Jesus.
I'm so sorry, and he would hug them all. And
No, do you remember the show that I'm talking about where it was
Yeah.
two people and they went on
naked and
dates
famous,
naked? Is that what it was?
or blind? Oh God, I know what you're talking about.
There was something where they were like in the dark, or was that a different one?
Well, it started
No.
with Naked News.
The show that I'm thinking of was back in the news like maybe a few years ago because it was a girl and a guy. They were on a date on a beach. The whole concept was you meet each other naked and you go on a date or whatever. But she was promised that they were going to blur out all of the fun parts, and they missed a couple. And it went.
There's Naked Vegas, The Naked Truth,
think
Skin
that's it.
Wars
I think this is the
Dating
naked.
with
Was it on VH1?
I think it was VH1.
with
Then it's
fucking
Dating
Rebecca
Naked.
Romaine.
Well, Google
Jesus.
which one had the lawsuit. Just put like naked dating lawsuit and choose one. But man, she was like, they told me, I was like, now I get it. You were assured. But like, if you didn't want to take this chance, maybe don't go on the show that requires you to wrestle naked on the beach. And man, they missed them and they missed
Naked
them
Castaway.
amazingly.
It's Dating Naked on
Dating
VH1.
naked. Yeah, that was so funny
I
to
don't
me.
understand the limits because on Bachelor in Paradise, and especially this season, like there was a lot of very, very, very skimpy swimsuits.
Sure.
And there was no rhyme or reason to when it would be blurred, like mosaicked,
Yeah.
and when they'd get black boxed. And it was kind of like sometimes you could
different
tell they
editor.
were using it for like comedic effect.
Sure.
But I'm just like, I want to know the rules. Like, how much cheek is too much cheek?
That's a great question.
It's never
That's a real
enough.
great question.
It's never enough. I understand. and
I just
believe
feel
in
like
that.
again, this is one of those instances where I'm like, why? Just let it go.
let it
Like, who
go,
cares?
man.
It's the naked body. We all have one. Like, just let them be naked if they want to be naked.
Yeah.
Why are people so afraid of the nipple? Free the nipple. And while you're at it, free the rest of the body. Let's all just be naked all the time. That's what I'm saying. Open door bathroom policy
Oh God,
is where it should
Here
be.
I feel like there's like being naked
Where
is
it should be.
great. There are some moments that I feel like I don't want anybody to see me, no matter what form of clothing I'm in, and I feel like the bathroom is top of that list.
So you're saying open door bathroom policy not acceptable?
I'm saying pantsless Fridays acceptable, open door bathroom policy
What?
no.
Pantsless Fridays.
Like if we're talking in the scheme of not.
Where did Pantsless Fridays come from?
I don't know. That was
You
I'm
guys-
saying
you
I
guys-
was giving degrees.
You
of
guys missed a lot
acceptability.
when you were gone. We tried to institute a lot of policies here. Pantsless Friday being one of them. I
God,
think.
I didn't sign off on any of this
Well, you got outvoted. You
You
guys
just
were
got
not
to.
at the table when the vote was happening. So Joe put Pantsless Fridays on. I feel like we've covered a lot of topics.
We have.
And I feel like that's a nice place to wrap this up. Guys, thanks for joining me. Joe.
You're welcome,
Thanks
Nick.
for joining me as well. Kevin, excellent job producing the show as always. Everyone out there watching, if you're not supporting us on Patreon, this is it. This is the end of the road for you. And
This is the final chance.
I'm sorry. This is all we've got. We
You
just have
lost
no
your
more
shot.
time for you. Of course, if you want to go out there and support, please go to patreon.com/kindafunny and give us a few bones. You can be watching this live with us right now, and you can also watch the post show, which we're about to go into in a couple seconds. But first, let me tell you something about subscribing. It feels good. It's the right thing to do. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, give it a shot,
What are
man.
you waiting for?
It's going to be cathartic. You're going to feel like you did something wonderful today, and
that
that's
button.
all that matters. Hey, you see that little button down there? Click it. It's just begging to be clicked. It's saying, click me. Click this fucking button. Click this button. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Thank you guys for watching. Click here to subscribe to Kind of Funny. Click there to subscribe to Kind of Funny Games. Click there to support us on Patreon. And right here, click here for that party mode that we were talking about.